Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Guys, in this video, I will be discussing the Cognizant Gen C Elevate interview experience. This interview happened recently on 9 September 2021. Guys, make sure that you watch this video till the end because in this interview, questions from every language has been asked, whether it is C++, Java, Python. From all these languages, questions have been asked, as well as the questions on SQL have also been asked. So make sure that you do not miss any of these questions and watch this video till the end. Guys, this is the first Gen C Elevate interview experience that I am covering in this on this channel, but more such Gen C Elevate interview experiences will be posted in future. All of those interview experiences, including this video, you can find in this particular playlist, that is Cognizant Gen C Elevate interview experience. At this point, it is empty because this is the first video, but more videos will be present in this playlist in future. So make sure that after watching this video, you check this playlist also. So guys, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe it as well as join my Telegram groups also. All the Telegram links are given in the description box. Make sure to join them because I am posting regular updates on the companies which are hiring for 2022 batch as well as for 2021 batch. So make sure you do not miss any of the updates and are present on my Telegram groups. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting the video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so the date of the interview was 9 September 2021. The branch of my friend is IT. The duration of the interview was 35 minutes. Okay, so the first question, as you all know, will be introduce yourself. And guys, this will be the most important question of your entire interview because this question will decide where your interview will go. So make sure that you include all those skills in which you are comfortable in and in which you can answer the questions that can be asked from you. And guys, you can also include your projects, your internships, and the projects done in the internships. You can include your extracurricular activities also in this introduce yourself. So I hope you got the point. Please do not include anything that you are not comfortable in, because if the question is asked, then it will put a really bad impression that you are not able to answer those questions which you have yourself told in about yourself. So I hope you got the point. Now, the next question was, what do you know about Cognizant? So guys, whenever you are giving an interview for any company, make sure that you read around 2 to 3 facts about that company, recent news about the companies, so that it is not valid for Cognizant only, but for any company. If you are giving interview, make sure to prepare this question, that what do you know about that company for which you are giving the interview. Okay. Now, the next were the 3 aptitude questions on probability, ages and ratio. So guys, these were the topics on which the aptitude questions were asked. And guys, yes, in Cognizant Gen C, or you can say Gen C Elevate, the probability, the aptitude questions can be asked. These are used for checking your presence of mind or the analytical skills, that how you solve problems. So aptitude questions can be asked from you, and these are the 3 topics from which the questions were asked from this candidate. Okay. Now, the next question was, what is the difference between C and C++? Again, C is not an object-oriented programming and C++ is the object-oriented programming. This is the major difference. See, if C is not a object-oriented programming, that means it will not support polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance. It will not support anything that is related to object-oriented programming, that is related to class. But whereas C++, since it is an object-oriented programming, it will support all these things like polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, the classes. It will support all these things. Now, C is a subset of C++, and you can say C++ is a superset of C. So the major difference between C and C++ is that C is not an object-oriented programming, but C++ is an object-oriented programming. And one more difference, you can say that in C++ there is a lot of built-in functions, lot of good built-in functions that are present in C++, but they are not, built-in functions are not present in C. So this is also a good difference to tell between these two. Okay. Now the next question was, what is the difference between call by value and call by reference? So guys, this is the basic question that while you have studied engineering in IT field, this is a basic question that can be asked from you. What is call by value? While calling a function, we pass values of variable to it. Such functions are known as call by values. So see, whenever we are declaring a function, we pass some parameters to it. Now, when we are passing the values as a parameter, then it means that it is call by value. Whereas what is call by reference? While calling a function, instead of passing the values of variables, we pass address of that variables. That is call by reference. So whenever we declare a function, if we are passing the value of the variable, then it is call by value, and if we are passing the address of the variable, then it is call by reference. Now, in call by value, the value of each variable in calling function is copied into corresponding dummy variables. Whereas in call by reference, in this method, the address of actual variables in the calling functions are copied into dummy variables. So what this means, see, whenever we pass a variable in a whenever you pass a variable in a function and in that function the value of variable is getting changed, then in call by value it will not reflect the original value of that variable, but in call by reference, if the value of the variable gets changed in the calling function, then it will reflect the entire code, or you can say it will reflect the original value of that particular variable. So this is what a difference between call by value and call by reference. Okay. Now next is what is null pointer. So it is a simple, a null pointer is a pointer that does not point to any memory location. So let's suppose we have declared a pointer, but we have not specified that at which memory location that pointer will point. So that will be counted as a null pointer. Now when a null, or you can say when a null value is assigned to a pointer, then it is considered as a null pointer. So you can say this also, that a pointer pointing to the null value is known as a null pointer. So any definition you can tell to the interviewer. So these are both correct. Okay. Now next is describe thread lifecycle. Again, this is a Java based question. The earlier questions were based on C++. Now this is a Java based question. Now thread lifecycle is has multiple stages, so I cannot explain all the stages in this particular video. So I will give this link in the description box. You can go visit this link and you can read about the lifecycle of thread. Okay, next is encapsulation. So guys, make sure that whenever you are going to an interview, make sure to read the features of OOPS. That are 4 pillars of OOPS. If you do not know what are the 4 pillars of OOPS, I will give you the link in the I button where I have described in detail that what are the 4 pillars of OOPS and how you have to define the OOPS pillars to the interviewer. Now this encapsulation is one such pillar of OOPS. Now what is encapsulation? In simple terms, we know that what is a class. In class there are data members as well as there are member functions. So what we do, we wrap up the data and the information under a single unit. You can say encapsulation is defined as binding together the data and the function that manipulates them. See, we have data members and member functions. So what we'll do, we will combine these two, we will wrap these two in a single thing that is known as a class, in which the member functions manipulate that data. So this is what encapsulation is in simple terms. It is defined as a binding together of the data and the functions that can manipulate the data. So binding these two things together is known as encapsulation. Okay. Now next is, how will you implement an infinite loop? So this is a very simple question. See, this is a while loop. If we will in the breaking condition, if we will pass true, then it means that it has become the infinite loop, because it will never break, and in that we can perform anything. In the body we can perform anything. So this is how we can implement an infinite loop. Okay. Now next is, what is operator overloading? So in simple terms, I tell you, operator overloading is giving an operator a special property to act differently. Like we know that a plus operator is used to for adding two integers, like 2 plus 3 is 5. But we can assign plus operator some other category also, like in joining the strings. So for some example, S1 plus S2 will give us S3. So this plus operator has been overloaded. It has given special properties for doing such operations. So I hope this thing is clear to you. But again, if you want to read in detail, I will give this link in the description box. You can visit here and read it. Okay. Next is difference between array and list in Python. So now the questions are from Python. Earlier they were from C++ and Java. So you can see that in this interview, basic questions from every language has been asked, and in ahead, questions from SQL have been also asked. So make sure to watch this video till the end. So again, what is the difference between array and list? So the major difference between array and list is that, see, list can contain elements belonging to different data types at a particular point. Now let's suppose list have 5 elements. So there can be 2 elements from integer, 2 elements from string, 2 elements from character, or 2 elements from boolean. So at a particular time, a list can contain elements belonging to different data type. Whereas arrays, we all know what an array is. It does not depend it is in Python or in Java. An array at a single time can contain the elements of a single data type only. If we declare array will contain integers, so it will only contain integers, and it cannot contain string in between, character in between, or boolean in between. So this is the major point of difference between list and array. And one more thing, arrays are faster as compared to list. Now arrays can directly handle arithmetic operations, and list cannot directly handle arithmetic operations. Because see, if we have array like 1 2 3, now if we will simply multiply array with 3, the name of the array with 3 in Python, then all the elements inside that array will be multiplied with 3. But this is not the same case with list. So in the end, arrays are faster than list, and arrays can handle arithmetic operation directly, and list cannot handle arithmetic operations directly. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Okay. Next is what is monkey patching in Python. Again, it's a Python concept only, so I have given the link in the description box. It's a little complex technique, so you can visit this link and read about it. Okay, so next are some of the questions from SQL, or you can say DBMS. Guys, today only I have uploaded a video in which I have discussed the most important interview questions of DBMS. So make sure to watch that video. After watching this video, I will give the link in the description box or in the I button. Okay, so what is primary key and foreign key? So a primary key is used to ensure data in the specific column is unique. Again, see what a primary key is. We have a table, and in that table lot of data is present, so we have to uniquely identify every row of that table. So how we can access it? We can only access it using the primary key, because the column that has been defined as a primary key, there that in that column there can be not null values, no null values can be present, and all values will be unique, so it is easy to access all the rows one by one. Now similar is the foreign key. What does a foreign key do? Foreign key helps us in establishing a relationship between two tables. If we have to fetch a query which involves two tables, then we will use the concept of foreign key. So I hope this thing is clear too. Now one major difference is that in a single table, primary key can be one only. Primary key can be one only, but in a single table there can be multiple foreign keys. So I hope these two differences are clear to you. And guys, whenever a difference is asked to you in an interview, make sure that you give at least 2 points of difference between these two things. Okay. Now the next question is, write an SQL query to select duplicate records from table. So again, I will try to give the link in the description box for this query. To do check that link in the description box. Now next was explain your projects and your contribution in it. So guys, explain your projects and your contribution in it. Again, project plays a vital role in an interview. You must have at least one project in your resume and try to explain that project very clearly to the interviewer, that what does it stands for. Now like you can say what does your project does, what is the technology stack, and what is your how you have contributed in that particular project. So these are points you can include while explaining your project. Okay, now the last question of this interview was, tell me about your external certifications. So guys, these certifications also plays a very good role. If you do not have any certification, it is not a problem. You can simply say I have studied my college subjects only, so it is not a problem. If you have a external certificate, you can simply tell to the interviewer and explain about it. Like you can have an ML certification or Android or Python, so these certifications are enough, and you can simply explain to the interviewer. And if you do not have any certification, don't worry, you can simply say that you were more focused on your college studies, so it doesn't it will not be a big problem. Okay, so guys, these are all the questions which were asked in this interview. I hope these questions will help you in preparing for your interview. Guys, if you want more such videos, please like this video and comment down that you want more such videos. And guys, please join my Telegram groups also and subscribe this channel. So guys, thank you for watching this video.